Hi there, my name is Dr. Gordon Cobb, and I am the digital content producer for KPU. And I wanted to give you a few tips about how to go about making your videos. So, the first thing I'm going to mention is this. So, you really want to think about like how you're framing your videos, right? So we don't need to see the ceiling above your head, and we also don't need to see the light up here, right? So framing your shot is the first and most important thing I'm going to talk to you about. So if you have a shot, we call this kind of a close-up shot. If you have a close-up shot, you want to put your eyes kind of in the top third of the screen. So here's a third of the way up. Here's it, the next third of the way up, and then here's the top. You want to break things into thirds, and your eyes should be in the top third of the screen, right? Also, really important when you're making your video, because most of you will make your video on your phones, make sure that you make the video in a horizontal placement like this, not in a vertical. Most of us tend to use our phones like this, and then we make our videos like blah, 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 blah. But a computer screen and most screens are actually formatted to look like this, right? So make sure that when you're making your grad videos or any videos or instructional videos or videos for anybody, for any reason, you always want to make the videos like this. This is the most common mistake that people make, is they hold their phone up like this when they make their video. And then the second most common mistake is they put their face in the middle of the shot. And we want to see more of you and less of the background. This, also applies to when you're taking photos too, people just still shots. So make sure that you get your image framed up properly and that you have your camera turned the right way. The other thing too is you want to think about the audio. So if I'm way back here and I'm like blah, 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 do you hear how bad the audio is now? Because I'm so far away from the camera. So if you're making a video where you're, maybe congratulating someone or saying hello to somebody, you want to make sure that your camera is close enough that you're getting decent audio, right? So, I just happen to be using an external microphone right here, and I have this plugged into my computer, but the audio is going to come in on your phone. So there's going to be a built-in microphone. So keep in mind, the further you put your phone away from you, the quieter the audio is going to be, right? And if your voice is quieter and someone like me is using your video to cut together, what I have to do is bring the volume up really high, but then all of the background noise also gets louder too. So if you're making a video where you're just being like, congratulations on your wedding or congratulations on your graduation, it's always better to try to do it as close as you can to your camera. Unless if you're doing something where there's a whole bunch of people and say you're holding up signs or something like that, then that's fine. Maybe the audio isn't that important, or you need to talk a lot louder. So if I do go back here, congratulations, all of the graduates of 2022, or congratulations, Carrie and John, on your wedding. You want to make sure that you project your voice so that it's still nice and loud. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is lighting. So I've intentionally not put my lights on in here. I have this little light right here, and if I turn it on, bloop, it's just a little tiny ring light. And look at the difference it makes on my face and with my skin tone. There's my dog back there trying to get into the room. Having a light of any kind pointed directly at you from the side will make a really huge difference. And also the color makes a difference too. So this is a more yellow light, and this is a more kind of blue or white light. I tend to like something that's a mix of the two, or I go with something that's a bit more yellow because it's a little warmer. But it depends on the look that you're going for. So there it is. Those are all of my tricks. So first of all, make sure you're filming in the horizontal mode. Second of all, framing is really important. Use the rule of thirds to find your eye level. And next, maybe some lighting if you can, and also audio. Think about the audio. How close are you to your camera? Okay? And you know, in regards to the rule of thirds, if I was, look out, Summer. If I was going to be back here, I would want to move. I still want to use the rule of thirds. I want my head area to be in the top third of the screen here. So this would be a really weird way to frame the shot because there's all this space above me. It makes more sense if we change the image, or I change how I'm standing so I'm framed more like this. Come here, you crazy. Come here. Come here. And this is my crazy dog who won't leave Daddy alone while he's trying to work. Okay? So you go off there, you sassy lady, and I hope you learned a lot from this video, and I look forward to seeing what you make.